1.
We're back once again. A horrible game. No surprise. I don't even know what to say about it because I expected to get destroyed. If you watched our last podcast, I said we were going to get destroyed by the Bucs. They're coming off a 4-game losing streak and a bye. They had nothing to lose other than just to beat up on us. In the worst case scenario, happens for us. We got destroyed. They needed the win. It was very evident. The Giants look uninspired. They look like they didn't want to play.
Oh my
So
God.
we'll get into that, but please make sure you guys like and subscribe. We have a lot of people that watch these podcasts and they're not subscribed, and that doesn't help the family grow. We would need your support. We need you guys to continue to help raise this family up into the higher ranks of YouTube subscribers, please, because we deserve it. You guys deserve it. The Giants
Yep.
family deserves it. After all the misery we've dealt with for the last decade, at least we're done with what everyone's calling the end of an era, not era, end of an era for Daniel Jones. So we're done with that. But let's talk about how Drew Lock once again was shafted and put into the end of the game in meaningless minutes. And the commentators even said that Drew Lock was upset that he wasn't announced the starting quarterback in place of Daniel Jones when they benched Daniel Jones, and he was surprised that they put Tommy DeVito in his place. And you know what? I said this last week. Why are we paying him $5 million to be on the roster if he wasn't going to be the backup, the veteran backup that the Giants at least needed to replace Tyrod Taylor? Not saying that Drew Lock was a better replacement. It's just that's all we had available to us, and we paid him $5 million, and he didn't even get the starting job after Daniel Jones was released from it or relinquished from it. So once again, the Giants are messing up their relationship with their athletes. Again, the whole team looked uninspired. The first half was bad. I don't even know how else to say it. It was just everybody just looked lifeless. There was no energy, no passion, no fervor, nothing. It looked like a team that's just been going through drama. And
Hmm.
a locker room that looks like it's just been going through drama, lots of turmoil. You've got the defense in the worst state it's been in years. Shocker, since we don't have Wink Martindale anymore. But that's why the defense is the way it is. We don't have Wink Martindale. So you look at it like that, and you look at the defense, we're last in 2 categories in terms of rushing defense: yards per play or carry, if you will, and we are dead last for 25 yards or more plays. Any play that was 25 yards or more, we are dead last in the NFL. That means teams can get the run big on us early and throughout the whole game. We are terrible on defense. Our pass coverage is atrocious. It's terrible. Deontay Banks is not who we thought he was going to be. He certainly can't be who we wanted him to be without Xavier McKinney and Julian Love being the leaders of that secondary that we lost. So the defense all the way around was terrible. Again, a team that was on a 4-game losing streak just walked all over us. Came into our home turf chanting Bucky at the end of I think the third quarter or whatever, the
The
beginning of the fourth.
disrespect in
Why
this
could we hear them
game,
so clearly? We
the
could
attempt, because our fans left. They
they
wanted to
could,
get a head start on the traffic, and I'm not mad at them for that.
I'm not either. You're right. The DeVito, he did the DeVito celebration after he ran it in. Why is it that DeVito gets the disrespect? Why doesn't Daniel Jones get it?
Nobody disrespected. Well, first of all, he had no personality, so there was nothing. He had no special symbol or
So
anything. He had
DeVito's
nothing
getting
like that.
punished for having character?
DeVito is getting punished for having character, for having his own swag,
That's not the
the
first
Italian
time someone's
swag.
done this. That's not the first time
Yeah,
someone's done it.
they go right after him, and Baker did the double Italian
He
person.
did the double. He did the.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
It
bad.
it's bad.
At
It's
least we
bad.
lost. It's good for the draft picks. We're going to continue to have the worst record in the NFL if you have DeVito or Drew Lock behind center. It doesn't matter who else is around them. It doesn't matter. Malik Neighbors, I think, had 3 catches today?
Yeah.
Wandale Robinson, I think I only saw him with 2 catches. Sterling
We
Shepard
didn't
gets
hear
a win
Malik
over his
Neighbors'
former
name
team.
until the second half.
Hold on,
Second half is
hold
when
on,
we
hold on.
heard.
Sterling Shepard gets a win versus his former team. Another former Giant beating us. I
Hmm.
think there's like 4 different former Giants that have beat us this season.
Yes, and Bredesen is on the Bucs too.
Yep.
Bredesen, remember
I'm sorry.
Bredesen?
So
Yeah.
five different former Giants have beaten us this season on different teams.
And let's point out that Sterling Shepard left the Giants to retire. It was all a ruse, just so he
Oh, it was
could
a ruse.
leave.
He didn't retire, and I called that. I was like, this man ain't retiring. Ain't no way. He just wants to be
He
out.
got the hell out of there. He bounced. He got the hell out of Dodge.
You know who did that in Ballers? Whatever Denzel Washington's son's character's name is in Ballers. He
Yeah.
he
Oh
faked
yeah,
his
that did
retirement
happen.
and then went back to Miami and then played in Miami so he
Peo
couldn't
was
play
in
with
the
the
chat.
Bills.
Peo time, our Canadian Reds fan friend.
Hey Peo, how you doing, buddy?
He said rough game, end of an
Oh,
error as well. Error.
end of an
Uh
error.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
He asked what was the spark the Giants were looking for. I don't think they knew what spark they were looking for. I don't think they quite had an understanding of what spark they could actually obtain
For this
at
game
this
today?
point. But let's just say for this game today, when they were going before they released Jones, they were going to go with Tommy, right?
Yeah.
So what spark would they have been looking for by just switching quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks? What could
So
it have
here's what I
been?
think they thought. I think that they thought Daniel Jones leaving was going to make all the drama from Hard Knocks, all of that go away. But in what world does that make sense? Where's the sound logic in that thought process? Because we still don't have Saquon. We brought in a bunch of guys who are mediocre in comparison to replace him.
Yeah.
Brought like 8 different guys. A lot of them haven't even played the full season up to this point yet. So I don't know what their thought process was, but I am assuming that they thought if Daniel Jones wasn't behind center, that the guys would galvanize behind DeVito or Drew Lock. And let's be honest here, we already have only 2 wins out of 10 games. Well, now 2 out of 11. So what were we going to do even if we won this game? Were we just going to miraculously win all the other games and then get the wild card? Is that what we thought? That's the unrealistic thought process there. The
Yeah.
realistic thought process is Daniel Jones is gone. Maybe the team will be different. Maybe the fan base will be happier. No, we've dealt with this for 6 seasons. You forced it on us for 6 seasons. And it's just not going to all of a sudden be okay now that he's gone. And it certainly isn't okay because he didn't even finish this full season. And you got Saquon over on the Eagles, giving them an opportunity to go to the playoffs and get to the NFC Championship. So, like, where? I agree with Peo. Where was the spark? Like, where did they think there was going to be a spark in this? And like the mother said, I don't think they thought anything. And if they did think there was a spark, I don't know where they would have thought it was coming from. Nobody could think like Joe Shane, somebody who takes advice from his son's
Mr.
friend.
Sunglasses today. Mr. Joe Cool out there with his sunglasses today. Whatever, yo.
Stephen A. Smith roasted Joe Shane. I forget exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of uh, saying that Joe Shane needed to get his act together, acting like he's one of the dang football players out there. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? He kind of does have this lackadaisical demeanor, and he tries to make it seem like he's a hardworking athlete himself and all these other things. And but with business and in terms of business, he tries to make it seem like he's this hard worker and he's trying to act like he's one of the guys, one of the athletes or whatever. And it's like, whatever, yo. And it doesn't make sense, especially when you see the clip. I watched it again. I saw the clip of John Mayer saying,
Why do you
if
torture yourself with this?
because somebody in the comment section on a different video said if you pay close attention to Joe Shane's face when John Maris says he doesn't want Saquon to go to the Eagles, Joe Shane had a little bit of a smirk on his face, and I'm just sitting there like, why was he smirking? What's that about? Smirking like he just knew that he wasn't going to re-sign Saquon? But like, I wonder what he was smirking about. It's not something I was noticed because I was looking at John Mara and how distraught he was over the situation of like not being able to figure out Saquon's contract. But if you look at Joe Shane, he's just sitting there like with a little smile on his face, and it's just like, well, what is the thought process behind Joe Shane? What is he thinking? I don't know. What we do know is that Joe Shane doesn't listen to what people say about him in sports media. And what we do know is that he doesn't listen to what they say about the New York Giants. So if he's not listening to any of that, how is he planning anything to turn the franchise around if he doesn't know what people think about us? You can't turn something around if you don't know what people think about it first. Or does he not
No.
want to know what people think because he's scared to see what they're saying about him? He knows New York media is tough. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But whether you like it or not, the Giants stink. The Giants haven't had a lead in a football game in over 352 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's almost 6 hours of football.
Ugh.
That's just pathetic. The first drive of this game was 8 minutes and 23 seconds for the Bucs. They had the ball for 8 minutes and 23 seconds. The ball
Yeah.
didn't touch our hands till there was 6 minutes and some change left in the first quarter, and we had a
And
3
after that, right. And then after that, there was only 3 minutes and like 3.5 minutes left. In the
That
whole
first quarter was so fast. I was like, what happened? We had two
Yeah.
3
I
and
was
outs,
like,
and they
I
had
said, this is gonna
touchdown.
go quick. I was like, this game's gonna go quick.
And then it started slowing down a little bit. But for the most part, it was a blowout. They were up 24-0 by the first half. And then they scored another touchdown. And then at that point, they probably just put the backups in and just coasted, aside from
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield. But for the most part, they coasted
Yeah.
because they could, because they're not worried about the
Because
Giants.
they could.
And then you put Drew Lock in once again, like I just said earlier, in a meaningless last few minutes of the game. Why? What was the point of paying them $5 million? Just business decisions. None of them make sense. Nothing. Azeez Ojulari, I almost said Kayvon went out. Azeez Ojulari went out with an injury. There's just there are
The
people.
revolving injury door.
Yeah, always. If once Kayvon comes back, Azeez goes out. You can't make it up. You literally can't make it up. And then inside interior lineman, I forget who it was. Maybe not Davison. Somebody went into the locker room at some point during the fourth quarter. I can't remember who it was. It was like 98 or whoever. Somebody had to go into the locker room. So you got all these guys going out, and it's just sad to watch, even without Daniel Jones. I will say this: it was less irritating because I didn't have to watch Daniel Jones play anymore. But
Right.
it still sucked. I was still sitting there watching, expecting to lose. I don't see any optimistic moment where until the draft comes, at least I don't see anything where I could feel better about this team. The Giants have to continue losing.
Yep.
We can't have any meaningless wins at this point. We have
No.
to ride it out and just lose. We better not do something stupid on Thanksgiving and win against the Cowboys. I don't think it's happening.
Look, we're
Thanksgiving
in
will once again be
competition with we are in competition with the Cowboys for a top 3 pick.
the Cowboys need to beat us. The Cowboys need to beat us. Did they win today?
Who's gonna try harder to lose on Thanksgiving?
Hold on. Let me look at Commanders versus Cowboys. Who won that? Wait, the Cowboys are winning by 10. Wait a minute. This is good. They'll be 2 games up. If they beat there's only 1 minute and 57 seconds left. If they beat the Commanders, they'll be up on us 2 games. So even if they lose to us in the Thanksgiving game to tank, they'd still be 1 game ahead of us in wins.
Wow.
So we'd be fine. If
Yeah.
we beat them for some odd reason on Thanksgiving, which I don't think will happen, the Giants. Okay, so even though Daniel Jones is no longer on the team, the Giants haven't beaten the Cowboys in several years. And
Yeah.
I think Dak Prescott has like 11 wins and like maybe 1 loss against them, and that 1 loss was when Eli was on the team, not even Daniel Jones.
Ooh, Lord, that was a
So
long time ago.
that's
Wow.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ever since Daniel Jones has been the quarterback, he's undefeated against the Giants. So
Yeah, this is like I said, who's gonna try harder to lose on Thanksgiving? The Giants or Dallas? We've got some other comments, and Michael Holmes has joined one of our
how you know Michael
regular
Holmes?
viewers. Here we go again. Fire Dayball, blow this whole thing up. We're better off losing. And then Michael Holmes also said the Cowboys are going to win. He believes. So
I think so
that,
too.
yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Devin Singletary had 3 rushing yards today.
It was strange to hear his name. I actually had a moment where I said, it's weird to hear his name because he's so unproductive for the Giants that it's startling to hear his name doing anything. I mean,
Right.
and he was the guy that they brought in to replace, and I use air quotes for that because it's absolutely absurd. Replace Saquon. It's absolutely 100% absurd.
Joe Shane, did you get your
Yeah.
value from Devin Singletary like you asked? Not Hard Knocks. Did you get your value? Remember you asked, do you think we can get anybody with more value? From
With more value?
can we get,
Absolutely
I'm sorry,
outrageous.
the language was, do you think we can get anybody of better value?
Ah, the
Whatever that
idea.
means. Whatever that means.
What was he thinking? What was he? Was there some other better powerhouse superstar running back that he had in mind? What was it? In fact, Devin Singletary. Oh my God, I
Well,
can't.
the reasoning behind the reason behind signing Devin Singletary was that he had I think he had 1,100 rushing yards. I'm trying to find his stats right now from when he was on the Bills. I think he had I think he had 1,100 rushing yards with the Bills. So they were thinking, well, he only had a couple hundred yards less than Saquon. So why not just sign him?
Right.
But that just didn't.
It's not this. It's not. If they
It's
were the
not the same.
same, they'd be twins. And even twins are not that identical.
I'm actually wrong. He was
Um,
on the Texans last year, and he had 900 rushing yards. But he was on the Bills at one point with Brian Daboll, and I think that's when they had 1,100 rushing yards when he was
right.
with
Well,
Daboll and Shane.
he
So
must.
about
Obviously,
their success in
Dayball
Bills.
vouched. Yeah, he vouched for him. Dayball vouched for him. Yeah.
Another person that failed. He has
Yeah.
323 rushing yards total this season in 11 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Saquon has either the most or second most rushing yards in the NFL.
Oh yeah.
Did you get
He
your
might.
value, Joe Shane?
Yeah. Yeah. We have no one who's in contention for Player of the Year or anything, any sort of accolades. We've got none of that.
Hell, Malik Neighbors before
Yeah.
he got hurt was the leading receiver with receptions before he got hurt. That was like
Yeah.
week 3 or whatever he got his concussion, week 3 or 4. He was leading the league in receptions. It was either week 2 or 3, one of those, 2 through 4, one of those. And then he got injured. And then that was it. That's all we had going for us was Malik Neighbors. And then he got
Yeah.
injured and has not been the same since he came back. And it's hard to be the same when all that drama is going on. And then now Daniel Jones is no longer the quarterback. There's just too much going on. And the defense is atrocious. Brian Daboll, this is your fault. You're the one that made Wink Martindale resign. Look at the defense. It's terrible. The rush defense is terrible. We have Dexter Lawrence, who was a Pro Bowl tackle last season. And we suck on defense. We suck. We can't stop anything. And it doesn't make sense. Hell, the secondary couldn't cover a window with a curtain over it. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Oh my God.
Like I don't know.
It's absolutely the biggest, the greatest clown show in the world, the New York Giants.
It's terrible. It's awful. Like there's no positive anywhere now. There's like no positive.
No.
They said that Tracy Jr. leads rookie running backs in rushing yards. Who the fuck cares? I'm sorry.
Nobody cares.
Who cares?
He's on a losing team. Who cares? It doesn't even mean anything to him. The guy is making plays for a team that can't even get a field goal in 2 quarters
or a first down.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's sad. It's really sad, and it's going to continue to be this way, Giants fans. It's going to be. I mean, we saw how we were with Daniel Jones, somebody who didn't deserve to be a starting quarterback. Now we have people who are being forced to be starting quarterbacks. So you went from somebody who wasn't a starting quarterback being paid to be one, and now you have people who have no choice but to start because the original starter requested to be released after he was put into a situation where he was put on the fourth string safety practice squad. Like,
And yeah, and definitely check out our reaction video to the release of Jones on
yes,
on that flight. What was that? The 22nd, November 22nd. Yeah,
it was a
definitely
couple days
watch
ago.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. But Payo asked a question about Daniel Jones. Michael Holmes has comments about Daniel Jones. So since we brought it up, let's get it. Let's talk a little bit about the rumors that are going about that there are actually some teams that may have front office members that are hallucinating or on some sort of what is that, peyote? They must have just come off of a peyote trip, literal trip. Um, and they're thinking about signing Daniel Jones as a backup or someone on the practice team. Payo asked, do you want Daniel Jones to go to a contender and get a backup? Apparently, there are teams that could go. Daniel Jones, Mr. Wonderful, wants to go on a team that has playoff options right now, which I think is, he's reaching for the stars. But why not? I mean, he was the guy who got that huge contract and didn't deserve it. And then Michael Holmes said, Daniel Jones is laughing with $80 million stole dollars. And that's absolutely true. And now
yeah, he's
the
chilling at 80
guy
mil.
he has job options. Who sucks at a job in front of the entire world and immediately starts getting phone calls to do the same job for teams that were doing better from where that person was coming from? Like, who are these lunatics at these teams? Vikings I heard is one. Ravens, the Ravens. What? Like, you want him to be a backup on those teams?
I'd
Really?
rather him be a backup than a starter. If he was a backup for the New York Giants and Eli was still in his prime, we go like, let's say we go 10 years ago, right? Like, not even. Let's go 15 years back. Let's say there's a weird scenario where we just drafted Daniel Jones as a backup behind Eli, and Eli was still in his peak, just coming off of his second ring against Brady. I would be okay with Daniel Jones being the backup at that point in time. So I'd be fine with that. And considering Eli made it all the way to like 2015, from 2011 to 2015, and if DJ was the backup for all four of those seasons, I'd be fine with that. But we had a situation where he was drafted 6th overall in the first round, and he had to be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. That was forced on us.
Michael Holmes said the Commanders just scored. Does that mean the Commanders? Does that
The,
mean that
the
they?
Cowboys were up 10. The Cowboys were up 10 though. Hold on.
Um,
Hold on. I'm checking. Let's see where they at now. Cowboys versus Commanders.
this is just a very disturbing Sunday
Oh
football
shoot.
day.
Oh shoot. Wait. Oh no. Are they about to force overtime?
That's the thing. The amazing comebacks in the fourth quarter, forcing overtime this season. It's a trend. It's totally a trend.
They're gonna force overtime, I feel like. They have 21
No.
seconds left in the fourth quarter, and it's 27 to 26. Uh
Mm, mm, mm.
let me, let me
Ain't that
see.
nothing? I
Hopefully
am
they
just
screw this opportunity up and the Cowboys can just win.
yeah.
Please.
Never have we really rooted for the Cowboys to win. But as long as they keep winning, they're further and further away from one of those top 3 picks that the Giants need. It'd be great if we can get that top pick.
Oops, sorry, I just had the game. I'm watching it right now.
Oh, so they missed the extra point.
They missed the extra point?
Yeah, that's what Michael Holmes has said. Michael Holmes is watching. Thanks, Michael Holmes, for sharing.
I just watched the replay. Oh, they shanked it.
I just think it's it's
Whoa.
great that it's great. Frank Graham has just joined thanks Frank Graham for joining us. Frank Graham just put 6 clown.
The Cowboys got
The
it. They're going. Go, 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 go. I can't believe I'm cheering for the Cowboys. Go, 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 go. Touchdown.
The son is cheering for the Cowboys. It's hysterical.
That'll never happen again. That'll never happen again. That's never going to happen again.
It's only so they can ruin their chances from us having
The draft
a
pick.
a fabulous draft pick. As I was saying before the sun got so crazy about
Sorry.
Dallas winning and ruining their chances for a
Because it was an
top three
onside
pick.
kick recovery for a touchdown. It was insane.
Frank Graham has joined us, and he joined and has three emojis of three clown emojis followed by the word Giants, and that is exactly right.
That's exactly
It
what we
is
are.
yes, it
Circus act.
is 100% a clown show,
You can find the
and
Pennywise
you
and the
know.
Joker up in the front office.
Yes, the evil clowns at that, evil clowns.
Yes.
It is yeah, and the biggest clown show of all is the idea that Daniel Jones asked to be released and that
Right.
he had goals and that those goals may come to fruition. He had dreams and aspirations after he left the Giants 48 hours ago, and now actually he may actually be on a team that goes into the playoffs. That's unbelievable. It only can,
If Daniel
only
Jones
in
gets a
America.
ring, I might have a heart attack. If he goes to a team where he can get a ring and he gets one, I might have a heart attack. I I I, I don't know. That doesn't sound possible. No.
No.
I don't think Daniel Jones will actually get signed. If he does, I mean, I guess good for him. The
Hmm.
guy, we didn't ask for him to be here. The front office made the decision to draft him. The front office made the decision to force him down our throats and give him 6 seasons of tries with a bad offensive line, bottom three offensive line for the last like 8 seasons. We had offensive line problems before Daniel Jones even finished college. Like
Yeah.
we've these offensive line problems date back a decade. So we drafted him, a quarterback that shouldn't have been on our team with a bad offensive line. And then we try to get these good offensive linemen through the draft, and they don't turn out to be who we wanted them to be. Evan Neal is still a bust, if you ask me. That's still a bust. The guy had a starting opportunity last week. Did he start today? I don't recall seeing Evan Neal out there. If he was
No.
out there, it didn't matter.
Yeah, it wouldn't
It,
have added any
whether
value
he
of any
played or not,
kind.
and we don't know if he played or not, doesn't matter because the score was 30-7. So clearly he didn't impact anything,
No
respectfully.
impact whatsoever.
They
A
had three
couple of
sacks in the first
more.
half against us, and we
Uh,
had 45 yards
it's,
total of offense in the first half. 45.
it's just
We had under
horrible.
50 yards. We had under 50 yards of total offense in the first half.
It's just it's beyond embarrassing.
This
It
is like high school
continues.
levels of bad.
And
You're just bad.
Jason Dukes, New Jersey native Jason Dukes, who relocated, somebody that I know, it's a Giants fan who relocated to Florida, is listening. So thanks for joining us, Jason. And
Thank you,
he
Jason.
always text messages me in disappointment, just like everybody else who's a Giants fan. And yeah, so it looks like so Dallas wins. So great. They have another win on the season, and that's fantastic. Get those wins, Dallas. Get further and further away from some of the draft picks. Hopefully, I mean, I don't think anybody would give up their spot to for one of the top three if they,
No,
would negotiate. No, nobody would do that. So keep going,
unless
keep
there's
going
someone they
further
don't need,
away.
unless there's someone that a team knows no one's going to draft, that's not going to happen. Usually,
No,
people keep their top, like if you're in the top five for draft picks, nobody's moving. Nobody moves. Again, unless
no.
you do some monumental deal, and I mean monumental, like Lamar Jackson. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
never going to happen. So the way
absolutely
I
not.
see it, the Giants just need to ride out the rest of the season with these 2 wins. We just finished the season with 2 wins.
Just
We
it's
we can't
fine.
win any
Just
more games.
tank.
We can't.
And here's the thing,
Can't.
it's so natural for them to tank the season. They don't really have to try hard. They suck.
We can't
It
even
just
call it tanking them.
happens.
They just suck. Just continue to be bad.
just
Play as if
just
Daniel Jones
continue
was
to be
still
who you
playing.
are.
Yes. And if
Embrace who
even
you
though
are.
right, and even though Daniel Jones isn't there anymore, y'all can pretend like he's still behind center if that helps y'all play worse. Whatever helps. But
Mm-hmm.
the way I see it, they're gonna continue to look uninspired. They're gonna look lifeless. It's not gonna
Yeah.
change until I honestly don't think this will change this overall vibe until Brian Daboll and Joe Shane era is over at this point now because they came in at a bad situation with the Dave Gettleman era just ending. and the Dave Gettleman era is still affecting us while they're in reign of it.
They could not shake it. They could not
They
shake
can't
those
shake it,
mistakes.
but they contributed to it though. They didn't just
Yes,
not
they
shake it.
added. They
They
added to
added
the
more
mistakes
fuel
that
to
were
the
made
fire.
before them.
They
Yeah,
added more fuel to
yeah,
the fire.
yeah.
So now it's even worse of a situation than it was than we thought we could have even imagined. So if you told me we weren't going to have Saquon and Daniel Jones wasn't going to be here in 2024, that's insane to me. Like, that's insane. Usually it's one or the other, but like they're both gone now. So it's like there's nowhere else to go but up at this point. We've hit the actual bottom. I said this in our last podcast. We've hit the actual possible bottom. There is no way else to go but up. You
No,
only can go up from here. So we just have to coast it out. The rest of our schedule, I know we have the Cowboys, and I think we have the Commanders again or something like that. Hold on, am I lying on that?
have we played them? Haven't we played them twice already?
Look, I don't know.
I
We've
think
lost
we
so
did.
many games. I don't even remember who we lost to.
I think we played them twice already.
I think yeah, because we played them early on this season. That's right, my bad. So then,
Yeah.
okay, so we got the Cowboys. Hopefully we lose. Then we got the Saints. Hopefully they don't stink it up and we lose. Ravens are going to destroy us. That's a given. Falcons more than likely are going to destroy us. Colts, I don't know. And then Eagles, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, let's not
We're going
address
to end the
that.
game with the
No.
Eagles, though, and that's just not going to be, it's not going to
No,
be
we
good.
always end with the Eagles, and it's never
It's not going to be good.
a pleasant. It's never a pleasant situation,
And you know they're going to want
that's
revenge
fine.
because of what we did to them last season at
Right,
the last game.
right, yeah. So yeah,
Saquon's going
there's
to have
that.
another 170 plus rushing yard game. I'm calling it.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
He might try to go for 200 this time, but he might not. They could have. They asked him if he wanted to keep running out there, and he said no. It was like the end of the third, and they're like, "Do you want to keep playing?" And Saquon said no. I think he did that out of respect for the fans because he very well could have broken 200 rushing yards. He very well could
Yeah,
have. I think it was out of respect for the fans that didn't boo him because most of the stadium was booing him, and I'm just like, he's not the person that should be getting booed.
no, it wasn't his
It should be
fault.
Brian Daboll, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones. Well, Daniel Jones isn't here anymore, but it should really just be Brian Daboll and Joe Shane should be receiving
Hmm.
it because they've caused all of this.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? Um, a lot of the sports media believe that Dayball will have another season with the New York Giants.
I don't know
I
how.
think that will depend on who the GM is. Okay. Because the GM is not guaranteed, right? It's not
That's
somebody,
also true.
right? So I think it's going to depend heavily on that, whether or not Dayball makes it another season. Does he deserve another season? I have no idea.
Me personally,
Um,
no. I don't think Mom, he
um,
caused too much damage. Look at our defense. Wink Martindale's gone. Look at the offense.
yeah,
He's the
and
play
our
caller.
defense was solid with under Wink. Wink was good with us.
In
He
general, our
was.
defense was solid. We
Yeah.
lose Wink because Brian Daboll has ego problems,
Right, right, right.
and the defense is trash now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's no, it's not a coincidence. Like, it's
Absolutely not.
Dayball's
Absolutely not.
caused too much problems. There's too much damage. Dayball, I don't think he should get another chance. He's done too much damage. How do you go from coach of the year to having the worst record in the NFL
You know, there's a
in two and a
saying,
half seasons?
and I can't remember which culture. There's a saying, it's a true saying. It is was how it happens. The fish rots from the head. Fish rots from the head, and the head would be Brian Dayball, and everything else he's just made the whole organization, the whole team
It's
is just
sad.
not there. And I have pity on the players that remain on the team now and have to go out and literally risk their lives. I mean, because anything can happen on the field. I mean, I might sound dramatic, but there's always that chance. Every time we see somebody go down and knock it up, it's like, oh my God, oh my God.
You never
You never
know.
know. Somebody's whole life could be ruined
They can be
with one
paralyzed.
play. With one play, a person's
Yeah.
life could be ruined. So they go out there and they're doing this. Yes, they're getting paid millions of dollars. Yes, it's deserved because of what they go through, the sacrifices they make, and they're on every day during the season. I mean, it's what they're doing, and they're entertainers, right?
Hmm.
But to go out there and have to continue to listen to these play calls, see the plays that are not working. Of course, there's some of the same plays, and see the guys that are now on the team that replace people who were better just a season or two ago, or those people who left because they saw the shenanigans in the clown show and didn't want to be a part of it anymore. It's hard to want to keep your own job. It's hard not to want to quit. We all have worked at a place where you're ready to just say, you know what? I'm done. Here are my keys, whatever
Yep.
it is that you have to turn in. Here's my computer, whatever it is. Like, I'm out. You know what? You know what? So it's just I've seen a lot in my days. To see the unraveling of an organization like this, it's just it's insanity. And to
This is
watch
worse
it
than the
and to
Detroit
hear the
Lions.
comments and to understand that it's just a few people who've caused this much turmoil
Yes.
in the last 12 months. It's just a few people
Oh,
involved with that, right?
it's nuts.
It's absolutely nuts. And bravo to the fans who got up early today, because you for a 1 o'clock game. The son and I do it. We get up early. Not everybody lives around the corner from the MetLife Stadium. So wherever you're driving from, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour and a half, like us, the sun even further away. I'm an
Yeah, I'm
hour
all
and
the
a
way
half.
past Philadelphia.
Right. You get up early to go to the game. You pay your good money. If something cool is going on before the game, you're there before that. And then you get there and you sit through a game where there's no score, there's no excitement,
This is misery.
and you're getting taunted and by the quarterback on the
Opposing
opposite
fans.
team. Well, by fans, you get the opposing team's quarterback is doing what your quarterback does to celebrate. I mean, it's just bad.
It's very rage inducing. It's
It's
embarrassing.
rage inducing, and to watch those folks, file out of the stadium early.
They
I
refused to
didn't
show
see.
the stands after that, by the way. They didn't show the stands for
Yeah, because
much of the rest
they
of the
were getting
game.
empty. We're hardcore. We're hard. The New Jersey and New York fans were hardcore. We're not staying for no mess. And who
No.
wants to deal with the traffic on trying to get out the stadium and just get
Want to
out
be
there
angry
early?
sitting in traffic? Hell no. No.
Yeah,
I
you
want to
know,
go home.
for and a lot of people like the son and I, we park at a train station a couple of towns away. So we take a little train. That's right. I mean, we go through effort to
We
get to
really
these
do.
games.
We do. It's
You
not like we
you
just
go
up and
through
go
effort.
and yeah, no, there's a lot that goes into it. We have to plan it. We didn't even
Yeah.
mention when we go get
So
our food from a different place. We don't have to pay the freaking $30
nobody wants
for
to.
a hot dog.
Right. Oh, not to mention how much folks pay for the $30. I've talked about this before. The hard seltzers, $30
Like
hard seltzer.
$25 for a seltzer. What the hell? And you see people just
you
going
know,
back and buying them, spending at least $150, $200 on drinks.
yeah, yeah. I want to say shout out to David Valentine. So just that's how we're doing. Thanks for joining us, David. Hope you subscribe or tell a friend. And
Please.
Michael Holmes, congratulations. Michael Holmes says great. He's grateful for not drinking during the season. He's 9 months sober and counting. So congratulations on that. And I'm glad
Congratulations. That's good.
that the Giants have not driven you to go against that. So keep going. Stay
Yes.
strong
Keep
during this
going
holiday
strong.
season. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, Michael Holmes also said was offered tickets this season to turned him down.
I
He
would
could
too.
watch the clown show, the circus at home. Yeah, exactly. That's what that we go. Son and I go every season, at least
Not
one
this
game.
time.
Not this season. The Sun said it's not going to be worth it. Don't waste our money. Let's just skip it.
The
And
last
I'm
game I
glad
went
we
to was
did.
that Rainbow where we lost in overtime. I haven't been
Right.
back
It was
since.
the debut game of Tommy DeVito. We were
And I
there for
haven't been
that
back
the
since.
2023 season. Yes.
That's still,
Yeah.
I'm still pissed about that game. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to let that game go, but it's gonna take a while. I was standing there thinking we about to leave and go home when those mother fathers screwed up and gave the Jets an opportunity to tie it up. You can ask my
Yeah,
mom.
that
I
was I
was
forgot we
just
were playing the Jet.
standing in the rain. I just stood there. I
Yeah.
didn't move. My mom was just like, "Are you gonna sit?" I just sat there. I just stood and I just watched the game standing. I was done. I was so in the rain, just standing there watching it in overtime. I'm like, I can't believe we're in overtime right now. And then we lost it. And I was just like, you know what? That was it for me. That was it. That's the straw that broke the camel's back. I didn't want to go to a Giants game after that. I was done. So
David Valentine says the Giants are going to draft QB Cam Ward.
either Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders, you can't go wrong. They need
Yeah, I
linemen.
don't.
We need linemen.
I'm
We need
telling you,
linemen.
there's no way in hell. Coach Prime is Deion is not letting his son go to the Giants. That's not happening. It's not happening. It's
Well,
not
either
happening.
way,
So
if we get Cam
I was
Ward,
doing
we need linemen.
yeah, that would be nice. And that's ideal. But if we keep the same front office that we have right now,
Nothing's gonna change.
there's no way, in hell we're gonna get any really great quarterback. This is not gonna happen because this
Too much
front
bad PR.
office, well, the front office makes bad decisions.
Yeah,
And
they
they
do.
look for the diamond in the rough. They don't look for the guy who already has shown that he's got what it takes to lead a team to a playoff and potentially to a Super Bowl. They look for a diamond in the rough, like a Daniel Jones. How is that going to change if we have that same front office leadership getting involved with the draft? I was watching a little bit of college ball yesterday, and I really don't do that often because I said, well, maybe I should pay attention to what's going on. And they had a guy on the, what was it, Ohio Buckeyes, Will Howard. He was like a guy that the Giants would pick in the draft. I don't think he might be a top 10 quarterback draft, but I don't know. But if he's not, the Giants will want him.
Right.
They
That's
had
how they
good
are.
stats and all. Yeah, he had good stats and all, but that's the kind of pick that this Giants team, their front office, they're looking for the diamond in the rough. We
The could
want a Cam
be's.
Ward, we want Shador, but they're looking at the guy who they can get a little cheaper than those guys, and the guy that they can mold and shape, because that's sort of the formula of the Giants. They get the guy that can be molded and shaped into what they really want him to be as quarterback for the New York Giants. It's BS. We need to
It
go
is.
after the guy who brings something of value, who's a real born leader and who can rally a team and who these guys want to go out and they want to play hard for and win
Right.
and practice hard for. Anything else is not going to make any sense.
Nope. I agree.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it.
David Valentine mentions that we got Andrew Thomas and he's good. Yeah, okay, we got Andrew Thomas, but isn't it true that he has spent a lot of time on IR? Do I have that right, son?
Yeah, no,
Andrew
he's
Thomas.
been injured many times, and the thing about him is he has stretches where he doesn't play at an elite level. Not saying that he's not elite, majority of the time, because he usually is pretty good. But Andrew Thomas struggled in his rookie season, and he got injured in his sophomore season, and then I believe he was injured that last season. So
Yeah,
it's not uncommon for him to get injured, is what I'm saying. And you can't have a left tackle that is unreliable in terms of his availability. If he gets injured every other season, that means you have to prepare to change your offensive line on a weekly basis if he is bound to be injured. So, and changing your offensive line is not a good way for your quarterback to get adjusted to the NFL, especially if they're a rookie. Because if the offensive line changes, communication calls changes because everybody thinks differently. Maybe somebody might mess up a call and then they don't know the read. And then all of a sudden now the quarterback doesn't know that there's a linebacker blitzing on the other side for some odd reason. I don't know. There are a lot of things that happen that if you don't have the same people on the field, it's not a good equation for success. So, and the Giants have been historically known in the last several
yes,
years to not have the
yes.
same offensive line week in and week out. And that
It's
is
true.
why we generally have 6 or less wins a season.
Yeah.
So you could talk about Andrew Thomas all you want. That doesn't change that Evan Neal is a bust. That doesn't change that we've changed offensive linemen year in and year out. And it's always veterans from other teams on their bench, not even starters. The best lineman we signed was that guy from the Packers who was top 10 in sacks allowed. And as far as I'm concerned, the only thing that's changed is that we've given up less sacks. We still give up sacks, it's just less. It's certainly the run game isn't good. I just told you that Devin Singletary had 323 rushing yards this season in 11 games. Granted, he was injured for like 4 weeks, but a veteran running back had 3 rushing yards today and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Three
Yeah.
rushing yards and 1 touchdown. That was our only
Yeah.
score of the game. It wasn't even a pass play from the quarterback.
It's so sad and pathetic.
It's bad. It's really bad.
It's really bad. It's
And
really bad.
the only way it changes is draft picks and better money management.
Hmm.
But we're still going to suffer now that we paid Daniel Jones all that money. We're still going to suffer now.
You
There's
know
still
what? I have a feeling that John Mara, the Mara family, the Tisch family, the co-owners of the Giants, are just going to just put some more of their billions of dollars into the team, maybe, so that
they
the
better.
Giants could get, yeah, can afford to pay for some better players. Because otherwise, I know that sales were probably down this year for merchandise,
Ain't nobody buying no
licensed
Devin Singletary
merchandise.
jerseys. Nobody, I guarantee you, nobody's buying those. I guarantee you,
No,
not a single one sold.
no, I think that
Except
there's, I
unless his
know
mom
that they're
bought it.
licensed. Yeah, exactly.
Unless his mom bought it.
Yeah, his mom probably bought it. But yeah, there's no I usually make one purchase a season. I haven't bought any. Everything I have is what I've had previously. I didn't buy anything
I'm
new
not
with the
buying
Giants.
nothing Giants related.
I actually haven't even worn anything. I won't even wear my Giants baseball cap, which is like one of my favorite baseball caps
I'm
because
wearing
it's got
Eli's
the
jersey
compliments
just to
on it.
remember the good old days.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
have
only thing.
I won't even wear that stuff to the gym. That's how bad, because I know, because I live in Eagles country, and I know that I will get all kinds of comments, and I just I don't wear Giants clothing out of my home. That, you know, what you see when you see me wearing something with the Giants on it on this podcast, this season, that's the only time I'm wearing it. I do not leave the house with this stuff on. It's sad.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I don't want to have a conversation about the Giants. It won't be a good
When
one.
you
So
don't have
I
to,
just
it's not necessary. When you don't have to, these
yeah.
times are sad. There used to be times when talking about the Giants was fun. Not anymore. Not for
Wait, why
those
did
eight
David
years.
Valentine ask, how do we feel about Danny Dimes coming back? So
What?
have you seen the news? Have you seen the news? He's released. He's not coming back.
He's
Believe me,
trolling.
that he's dead.
I think he's talking about Danny Dimes coming back to the NFL in general.
Oh, okay. Well, if you mean to the NFL, then that's good for him. But I'm glad he's gone.
Just don't give him
Yeah,
a starting job.
yeah,
That's how
yeah.
you make your fan
That's
base
it.
rage quit. They will, or as these kids say in these days, crash out. Make the
Oh, I
fans
haven't
crash
heard that
out.
one. Crash out. Okay, all right.
Yeah, crash out.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Family Bonding Therapy, but post game Giants therapy show.
Ugh.
Um, and it's another disappoint. It's unfortunate, but it's another disappointing one. And I hope that we could do better. Now, it looks like our game on Thanksgiving is right around the time that most of us will be eating. Son, I don't know that we'll be doing a show on Thanksgiving because it's a 4:30 game. I don't think we're going to be doing a show. What do you think?
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary either. We can always
We'll have a bye week
post
in the
some.
podcast.
Yeah, we have,
Maybe we'll do a
this
YouTube short the next day. I don't know.
Yes, we might have something short. I will be, obviously the son and I will be together. Maybe we'll record some sort of short and we'll post that since we'll be in the same space for Thanksgiving. So maybe we'll do that. But yeah, no, so we'll see you the following week. What was that? Week 14 against the Saints. Yes.
Oh
Yes.
God.
September 8th. Yeah, one
Not
o'clock
who
game.
that
That's
nation. Oh no.
yeah. So yeah, so we'll be yeah, we'll be doing a little Saints action. And it looks like a home game as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another loss at home. Great. Great. That's just what we needed. Oh
Oh
God.
my God. Yeah, so that's it. So thank you everybody for joining us. Again,
Thank you so much, everyone.
we officially will be taking a bye week for Thanksgiving. We may post
Yes,
the
just
short,
letting you know
but we
now.
will see you week 14. We'll see you for the Saints post game show. Unless something really crazy happens in between, then we have to go live again, like we did for the Daniel Jones being released. But I don't think anything really crazy. Well, I shouldn't say that. If it happens, you'll see us again. Please like and subscribe. Please subscribe. And wait, thank you to everybody who joined us today and
Yes,
decided to
thank
click
you.
that subscribe button. We thank you for doing that. We have 2 new subscribers. No, 4 new subscribers. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us, joining our family, and we will see you next time. And have a great Thanksgiving. And we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Take care.
All right, we are done. So most of our